So over the past few days, I have been practicing to eventually do an S+ run of this game. Currently, I am playing on standard because I've never done any S runs of this game. So I'll do the standard run first, and then at some point I really want to do the S+ hardcore run. So the way that I am playing this is with the intention of doing the S+ hardcore run at some point. So I'm paying a lot of attention to the pacing of my run and saves. I am trying to not save because in hardcore you can only save 3 times. So I've been playing through each section. I kind of split it up. I've got all these save files that I was using to practice different sections of the game so that I could learn the different paths that you need to take to get where you're going the safest and fastest way possible. So I currently have done everything from the beginning of the game up till you get to the sewers. And I just finished my first playthrough from the beginning to the sewers. I only died once, and it didn't have a huge effect on my time because I only picked up an extra like 5 minutes, so it didn't actually affect my pacing all that much. But yeah, this is what I've been doing. So I'm going to go ahead and go through and give you all the little tips for getting through here and show you how I've been doing it. One thing to mention that I got a lot of tips from is I actually watched Markiplier's stream when he did the S+ hardcore run. He did that a year or two ago. It's still on his Twitch VODs if you want to watch it. But he attempted it in 2 separate streams and got it the second time. So a lot of the things that I'm doing are things that he did or mentioned. I kind of used his run as reference for when I started practicing for mine. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and load up this save. I'm not doing the full playthrough. I'm just practicing for the playthrough because I don't want to put effort into doing a playthrough until I'm ready. I haven't memorized the sewers yet, which is going to be the hardest part for me because I always get lost in the sewers. But I'm going to go ahead and load up this save right here because this is when you first enter the police station. I've been using this so I don't have to go through all the boring cutscenes at the beginning, and I can jump right in to the actual start of the game. So obviously in the actual playthrough you would not save here. This would be a wasted save. But just to avoid having to go through that section every single time just to practice, I did save here so that I can just work off of this file. So let's get started. You will see I know exactly what I'm doing, exactly what I want to pick up. I have it all memorized of what I want to do. And ideally, if you're trying to do this run, you also want to do that. In this section of the game, when you're in the police station, you can gather a lot of resources. So I play this differently than a lot of other people that do this run because I really like to overload myself with resources so that I'm never low on anything. So I pick up a lot of stuff. So if you like to play that way, you can do these rankings while still gathering a lot of resources. It always kind of stresses me out to watch other people play when they avoid picking so much stuff up because there's enough time to work with to pick these things up.
Jesus.
Open up!
this first section you don't have any enemies to worry about until you come in and do this. There's always going to be a zombie here at the door, and you want to wait for him to come through. One shot staggers him, and then you can run right past it. When you get down past these lockers, there's going to be two that come out of this room.
Jesus!
And you want to do the same thing. Shoot both, run right past.
Come on.
You got two cutscenes back to back here. You can watch them if you want to. I don't really see the point. If you're trying to do this, you already know the plot of the game, so. One thing you're going to see me do is dumping my inventory a lot. Like I said, you pick up a lot of resources, so you want to make sure that you have the space to pick everything up. So you want to constantly be traveling into new areas with an empty inventory. Now this section, I don't know if this matters. I always trigger this so I don't accidentally trigger it later. But I don't know that it matters. But I always do that because later when you come through this hallway, you've got zombies everywhere. And I don't want to have that trigger then, because that would be a very bad time to have that trigger. I pick up the maps, even though I don't really need them. I still pick them up because they're good to have, and you don't have to go out of your way to pick any of them up, so might as well. Another thing would be to know all of the codes. If you need a cheat sheet, have a cheat sheet. I have them all memorized so that you don't have to worry about picking up all the papers because it's a waste of time. Oh, there it is. I feel like I always forget the positioning for those letters, and it takes way longer than it should. In this section, so there's a zombie there. If you don't walk over there, you won't trigger him. And there's no reason to walk over there because there aren't any resources there. As far as the boards, there are only a couple windows that are worth boarding up. Otherwise, you're taking up inventory space that you don't need to take up. And from what I've seen, most of the boards are placed by the window you're supposed to use it on. So the ones by the stairs you should put on this window. And then there's some other sections of boards that are windows that are actually worth boarding up. This section here, there it is. I always go into this bathroom and pick this stuff up now because I have the inventory space to pick it up. You do come through this area later, obviously, but later I'm not going to have the inventory space to pick all this stuff up, so I always do it now. And this zombie is always on the stairs. If I can actually hit him. For some reason, this specific zombie seems to take a lot of shots to down. I also missed a lot, but I always feel like I have to shoot him a lot. And then when I come back through the area, he's always back up trying to nibble on my ankles. this is mag ammo, so this is very good to pick up for later. The hardest part of playing this the way that I play it is being able to memorize what you should have with you in different areas, because like I said, I pick up a lot of resources. You can't always drop stuff if you come across something else you'd rather have, but I have memorized it so that I know exactly exactly like how many spots I need to pick everything up that I want to pick up, so I know what to put away and what to bring with me. As you may have noticed, there's usually a zombie right here at the bottom of the stairs. She's not there. What was I saying? As you might have noticed, I put away my extra bullets for my guns because I need the inventory space. So I'll make sure my handgun's fully loaded, but then I put any extra bullets away. And that's just so I have the extra spots to pick up other stuff. So I'm gonna get this medallion, and then I'll pick the other one up when I come out of this room, because you go right by it. And you don't want to forget, there she is! I don't know why she wasn't in her usual spawn area. That was weird. Normally, like I said, that female zombie is waiting for you at the bottom of the steps when you come through, and you would want to shoot her. Usually you just want to completely down her, because if you stagger her, she comes after you anyway. Then I'll combine my gunpowder, which opens up inventory space to pick this up. I think it's this. There we go. The medallion codes I have a really hard time remembering. I usually know the right symbols, but not necessarily the right order. But the medallion book you pick up regardless, because you get it at the beginning of the game. You don't have to actually find it. They just give it to you.
The passage isn't open yet.
And then you want to open this door now. You're not going to go through here right now, but you want to unlock that, because then when you go upstairs and use the key, you'll be done with the key, so you can discard it. And then I'm going to drop all this stuff off. The only thing I need to go upstairs is the key and the book, so everything else goes away. And the book is going to, of course, give you the ruby, and you definitely want the ruby because that opens up the chest with the badge in it, which is how you get the magnum. So if you don't get the ruby, you can't get the magnum, which I know that you can play through this game without the magnum, but I don't want to play through it without the magnum. So I am definitely going to put in the extra time so that I can get that. I also play with the Matilda because you can get the attachments. I do have one of the other guns. I don't remember which one, but you can't put any of the attachments on it, so it doesn't even seem worth it to me. And then, like I said, because I opened that door when I was downstairs, the use for that key is now done. If you don't unlock it first, then you won't be able to drop the key, and you want that extra inventory slot. It's a lot to memorize, but if you do it enough times, it's just habit, so it's a lot easier to remember. And I say I had to play through each section 3 or 4 times to be able to memorize everything. It would probably be harder for some people. I have a pretty good memory, so it's pretty easy for me to memorize everything. You want to pick these boards up. I'm going to show you what window to use them on.
I'm surrounded by zombies. Marvin, do you copy?
And then we're going to drop this key. We're going to drop... Nope. We're going to drop it. There we go.
Marvin! Damn it.
We're going to go straight to this door right here. Now when you come in here, those boards that you just picked up are going to go on this window. You'll know which window because there's a zombie at it. He's always there when you come into this room. If you don't board up the window, he will break through the window. There's 2 more zombies in this room, I believe. And then zombies will start coming in through the door that you entered the room through. As far as I can tell, the placement of the zombies seems really random to me in this room. So a lot of the time I end up getting grabbed. I haven't been able to work out any sort of method for avoiding that because, like I said, their placement seems very random. Normally, not having much luck, you would just open that door and run right past the zombies that are standing outside of the door. It's very doable. Normally, it works every single time, but for whatever reason, that time the zombie was already in the animation of breaking through the door. I think I'm gonna go ahead and use an herb now. And then I want to get out that because I'm about to go to the weapons room. But first, I want to use up the cutting tool, which is through this room. There are now zombies in this room that have come in through the windows. There's not much you can do to avoid that happening because you don't have boards the first time you come through this area. There's always going to be a zombie right through this door that you're going to want to shoot, and preferably down from my experience. And then there's always going to be this yellow vest zombie. Usually at the end of this hall. Oh my goodness. There we go. Usually not that bad of a shot. Sometimes he's at the end of that hall, sometimes he's closer to that door that you come through. But you just need to remember that there's 2 zombies that you're going to need to shoot in that hallway. There's boards in here, you don't need them. Okay, so this is where you need to go upstairs. So the stairs are straight over here, but first you want to go through this door. You want to get 109, and then you're going to want to open up this thing, which I just need to quietly do this for the next 5 minutes. Sometimes I can get these very easily, and sometimes they make me want to die. Nope. My goodness. Alright, it's gonna be one of those times. God. Oh my god, I can't do this right now. Sometimes my brain just cannot do this thing, and I waste so much time. Okay. Where is that one at? Shit. I almost had it that time. Nope. Top one. Oh, I'm about to give up on this. Oh my god, okay. I don't know if the pattern's the same every time. It feels like it's different every single time. Sometimes I get it right away, and sometimes it takes me that long. Okay. 102 and 208 are the other two that you're gonna get. As long as it took me to open that, I don't even know if that was worth it for the little bit that I'm gonna get out of it. But, like I said, I play this where I like to gather resources. This area is really annoying because there's always two zombies that just seem to repetitively get up over and over and over again, no matter how many times you down them. And it is unbelievably annoying. So one of them's in here. Okay. I lucked out. I'm gonna go into this room and drop all my stuff off because I'm about to pick up a bunch of stuff. I want to keep these two things, and that should be it. Yep, okay, that's all I need. There's now going to be a zombie up here that wasn't up here before because she gets up. She's usually right outside the door you need to go through. There we go. I really wanted to perma down her, that's why I kept shooting her. It doesn't really matter, but you do come through this area later sometimes, depending on your pathing. You might come through this area later. So that's why I wanted to down her. Now this is when you get your first liquor. So you want to make sure you're walking when you come down this hallway. You're going to go in the door right here. And this is why I cleared out my inventory, because there's a bunch of goodies in this room. There we go. It wasn't letting me pick that up. So, one thing that I do, there is a first aid spray right here. I'm going to leave it there. When I come back through this area later, I want it to be there because 9 times out of 10 I need it, but I don't want it in my inventory. So I leave it there so that it's there for me when I come back to get the Magnum later. And you want to keep walking. You're going to go through this door, which takes you to the library. And you're going to go straight upstairs to use the bomb and get the last of the medallions. And then once you have the last medallion, it is time for the first boss fight, which I think I practiced the first boss fight probably 20 times before I found a method that was consistent. And if you've watched anyone speedrun this game, there is a consistent method for beating the first boss that takes very minimal resources because you can beat him with knives. So that is the method I'm going to be using for that boss fight. And it's actually very easy, very doable. So I'm going to be at that section very shortly. The only reason I had to practice it so many times was because I wanted to find a method that was consistent, like I said. I wanted to make sure that I could always beat him. So I practiced it over and over. What is... there it is. I hate this one because you can't see the symbols. It makes it so much more annoying. But we have this, and a licker's gonna spawn. And there's nothing that you can do about that. I always gun it. Sometimes I get grabbed, sometimes I don't. I personally prefer to just take the hit. It's easier than wasting ammo. Trying to get past them. And the way I play, I pick up a lot of herbs, so I can afford to take the hit and still have plenty of herbs to use to heal. So there are some sections where I purposefully will take a hit in order to save ammo. I haven't practiced the later parts of the game, so I might need to change that strategy if I end up being short on herbs later on in the game. But for right now, this first section, I have so many. I'll show you, because this is the first section where I do some inventory management. So let's do that really quick. So first what I'm going to do, so this is everything I gathered in the police station. I did forget to circle back for the herb and the bullets in the one office. I don't know that I picked them up for sure, but it's not a big deal if I didn't. But I'm gonna take all my ammo out and all my gunpowder. Here it is. Okay. And then I'm gonna combine everything that I can combine. Okay. And then I'm going to put all of that away, actually, because I want the inventory space. I'm gonna go ahead and reload my guns. This might seem like a waste of time, but it's good to know what you have. I like to have shotgun ammo on me just in case the fight goes wrong, and I also take a first aid spray because I am going to be purposefully taking a hit in this fight, which you will see shortly. And then the only other thing you want is your knives. So my suggestion for this fight, you want your 2 knives, which you pick up in the police station. You want 1 first aid spray or a full heal, whatever you have. And then shotgun rounds, just in case. And other than that, we're good to go. We're gonna go into this boss fight, and hopefully it will go well. I do not save here because it only takes 20 to 30 minutes to get to this part. So if you were to die in this boss fight, it's not a lot of work to get back to this part. And this is a really easy boss fight, honestly. The first time I played through this game, I was surprised how easily I actually got past this the first time I tried it. But there's a grenade right here that you want to pick up for this fight. So the only thing you want to do, you want to make sure that you have your grenade equipped and your shotgun equipped before going into the fight. And then I'm going to show you how I get through this fight. There's a lot of different strategies for doing this, but this is the one that I've tested and gotten the most consistent results with, which is what I want. I want consistency. So, here we go. First thing, you want to throw your grenade that you picked up. It's going to stagger him, and you're going to go in with your knife, if I get out the right thing.
No choice. Gotta take it down.
You want to try and stay in front of him, because then he'll grab you. He grabs you, you stab him with the knife, and then you go right back in with your second knife, because we have two. And when you're stabbing him, you just kind of want to aim for his head, basically, that upper part of his body. You want to take that hit. That's the hit that I was talking about. And then you go right back to knifing him. And then he's going to die here in the next few hits. Stab him again. Now here's what I'm talking about. Consistency, normally he would be dead already, so get out your shotgun. One shot, he's done. Now, one thing you can do is that when you take that purposeful hit from him, you can get out your heal item and heal right away in case you're worried about getting hit again. That way you won't die. Normally I just wait until the fight's over and then I use it and just take the full heal. You also, when you go into this fight, because you're going to take a purposeful hit with this method, you want to make sure that you have full health before going into this fight. So if you took some hits in the police station, you're going to want to heal before coming into this fight. Now, I only got hit the once, so probably 2 green herbs would have topped off my health if I had chosen to do that. But I just used the first aid spray because I like to save the herbs for the sewers, because you can do the blue herbs for poison, so I try and save those. And this is why I came in with a emptied out inventory so that I could pick all this stuff back up. I did forget, when you kill him, he drops your knives. So you can pick them back up, and they're always right around the ladder. Now it looks like I only got one back, which means the other one must have been completely damaged, which is fine. It's not a big deal that I lost a knife, because the main use for the knives is for this fight, so that's completely fine. Because you want the knives for that boss fight, when you pick them up in the police station, I would advise that you put them in your chest so that you don't accidentally use them in a counterattack while you're going through the police station. Because if you use them in a counterattack, then you're going to have to, you know, try and down the zombie to get it back, and it's not worth it. So there's going to be a chest in here and a save. And this is leading into the parking garage area. So going into this area, normally I also would have done herb management and combined everything, but I forgot to do that. I'm going to put everything away except for a knife, bullets, and I'll keep a heal item on me. But other than that, I want the inventory space to pick everything up in this area. Now there are some items that I avoid picking up because I don't think they're worth the time. And the biggest thing for that is I don't pick up the diamond key. I don't think it's worth it.
I'm not done talking to you.
The rooms that it opens doesn't have anything super valuable in it, so I don't bother picking it up at all. And the diamond key, I mentioned that because you get the diamond key in this area. So I just completely ignore that, and I'll elaborate where it is so you can make the choice as to whether or not you want to bother to pick it up. It's really up to you. I just decided that it's not worth it. I don't care about the items that you get out of it, so... oh, wrong way. As many times as I've played through this, I still have a really hard time remembering which ways to go, especially in this area. Over in the kennels, I always end up running the wrong way down. When I come out of the doors, I run into a dead end. I just can't seem to remember which way I'm supposed to be going, but if you go straight here, there's a blue herb. It's the first one you pick up in the game. And then you go through this door, and right beside the door there's going to be gunpowder. That's the only thing that's in this room, other than the dogs that want to eat you. Now, oh, here we go, right into a wall. In the morgue, this is where you will get the diamond key. It's in the one over there, and I'm not going to pick it up. And picking up the diamond key is what awakens? How about that one? That's what awakens the zombies. So you can actually come in and pick that red herb up, and the zombies stay asleep because they don't get up unless you pick up the diamond key. So I go ahead and go in and get the herb. There is also a flash grenade in there that you can pick up, but I don't really care about it. But you can also get that without waking up the zombies. Dead end again, the door's over here. Alright, in this room, to your immediate left, is a green herb. There's bullets, I believe, or gunpowder. And then you need this box. Very important, you don't want to miss that. That should be everything in this room. And then we're going to turn the power on. Before turning the power on, I normally go into my inventory and clean it up a little bit, because turning the power on triggers the dogs. The guard dogs. I fucking hate guard dogs. So, getting through this section, bob and weave, and hope for the best. So far, I'm not having any luck. But that is literally how I get through this section. Is just serpentine all the way. Because if you stop to shoot the dogs, then more are just going to show up. So your best bet is to just try to avoid letting them hit you. But if you can't, you've got that full heal on you. That is the wrong way. Like I said, I always run the wrong ways in this section. I have a hard time remembering. But, as you can see, I don't go in this room at all. There's nothing in there that's worth going in there for. That's also, I believe, one of the uses for the diamond key is in that room. So, I don't go in there. We're back in the police station now. There's going to be bullets over here. And then there's another save area in this room. You could save here if you wanted to. Ideally, in my final playthrough, I don't want to use this as a save point, but it would be an okay choice for a save point because it's before you trigger the tyrant, and the tyrant is just so unpredictable in his pathing. Put your knife away because you're about to pick another one up. And then I like to keep a heal on me, which it looks like I used my first aid spray, so I'm going to have to use herbs, which is fine. I'm going to take out some of these greens because I have so many of them. You do actually pick up some more herbs later, so you could not carry them. I'm going to put the full stacks of bullets away. That way when I pick up more bullets, they'll just stack on top of these and won't take up more space. And then, yeah, the only thing I actually need right now are these two things. And then I like to keep a full heal on me, because this section isn't too bad. Oh, also you want your shotgun. You want to perma down these zombies in this hallway, because you gotta run back through this area later. Ideally you wanted this, and it would take 2 bullets per zombie. There's another one, Martian. Oh, I thought that he went down, but apparently not. I forgot to take shotgun ammo with me. I thought I had some. Did I put it away by accident, or am I out? I put it away. Oh, I accidentally put all of my shotgun ammo away. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. I forgot that I wanted to bring it with me. So yeah, you want shotgun ammo for this section. Actually, ideally, I should have just kept all my shotgun ammo on me, because in this section, since the tyrant is chasing you, I recommend using your shotgun so you can get past the zombies faster, because you're kind of constantly on the run. You're gonna go through this door and up the stairs. But yeah, using your shotgun is the best bet for this section. So you probably just want to keep that, keep all your bullets on you, whatever you have for your shotgun. Gonna come over here and you're gonna use that crank. You're gonna pick those boards up. I didn't want to pick those boards up, but I did anyway. I wanted to pick those up later, but I forgot. But since I picked them up already, I'm going to show you what window they go on, because I want them out of my inventory. So later, I'm gonna come down here, and I would have picked the boards up then, because you want to put them on this window. But I picked them up sooner than I wanted to. So anyway, normally you would come through that door and you would go straight upstairs. There's more boards up here that you don't need. And you've got the 2 lockers. And I believe that's everything in this area, isn't it? Yeah, other than the boards. And then you want to come in this room. You go straight, get the blue herb. I believe you come around the corner and there's the gear. And then you go around here. Ooh. Normally he is not standing there, so that really surprised me that he was there. I'm just gonna go ahead and perma down him so that I can get that knife back. There's 2 zombies in here. Ooh, go through the door. I hate that room. Anyway, we are finally to the section where we're about to trigger the tyrant. This is the hardest section so far. This section's hard because the tracking for the tyrant is super inconsistent. Sometimes he'll follow you to a certain area, sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he follows you to the area, but his pathing is different. So there's no consistency at all to his movements. I've done the exact same run, going the exact same way, and I've had him do a different thing every single time. So it's really annoying. I want my shotgun. You're gonna want to perma down these two zombies that come through this door, because otherwise, chances are you're gonna get screwed over by them when you try and come through the door later. The female zombie will get back up. The male zombie usually stays down. But I couldn't tell you how many bullets I've used on the female zombie because she just won't down and stay down. So it's really annoying, but it is what it is. Now, this chest here is going to be the last time I go to a chest until I get to the sewers. So I need to clear this out a little bit. I'm going to put everything away. I'm going to go back to basically what I had the last time I cleared everything out, except this time I have the gear on me, and I'm going to pick up that key. I still have my full heal. I think I had more shotgun ammo in here, like half a stack or something. There they are, there's 2. I'm going to pick those up. And then that was the only thing in here. There's save in here. You could also actually, if you want to save before triggering the tyrant, this would probably be the best place to do it, because this is right before you trigger him. So if you wanted to do that, I have thought about using that save before, and I did use that save for my practice runs, so I do have a save that picks me up right in this area. But that would be up to you. I haven't decided yet where my saves are going to be, so I can't really advise on that. But I have been playing out through the sewers without saving. Probably what I'll end up doing is saving before going into the sewers, because I really hate that area. I haven't practiced that area yet, but on my normal just playing the game for fun, I really hate that area. So you want to run out here so that you can get around him, because you can't pass him in the hallway. And then you just gun it. As long as you keep running, he can't catch up to you. And there aren't any enemies in this area to worry about, so you can just full sprint ahead in this area. You're gonna circle back. Now this is where I would have picked those boards up and come downstairs, but I accidentally picked them up before I wanted to. But you do want to get those boards to board up this window, because if you don't board that window up when you come out of this room and back down the hallway, that zombie's gonna be waiting for you. So you want to board that up so you don't have to deal with that. And since the boards are conveniently placed right outside that door, it's very easy to board that window up. I'm going to go ahead and combine that. I wanted to pick the ruby up and I forgot, so I'm going to have to stop at a box. Normally I would have the ruby on me, but I forgot to pick it up. Now, he might bust through this wall. Okay. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. And I have no idea what triggers him to do that. But him busting through the wall is actually great, because sometimes he'll follow me through the hallway and it's impossible to get past him. So that really sucks when that happens. So now, I'm going to go to the other club door, to use the club key. But I need to swing by a box first because, I forgot to take the ruby out. Which isn't a big deal, because there's a box right here in this, hub area, the lobby, whatever you want to call it. So it's not far out of my way to stop and pick this up. But like I said, normally I would have picked it up when I was at that last box, but I just forgot. And then there's going to be a liquor in here. And this section also kind of sucks because of its inconsistency. This whole section is super inconsistent. So now I have that. You're going to want to walk because there's now a liquor in here that wasn't in here before. And the door is going to be this very first door where the body was hanging when you came through the first time. Which is why I always trigger that body so that I don't get stuck in that animation when I come back through here. You've got 3 items in this room. A grenade, the lever that you need for the library, and then there's gunpowder right inside the door. There's going to be a zombie that's going to bust through the door, and sometimes, usually always, the tyrant follows you in here. I'm going to go ahead and heal because I have a tendency to really get screwed over in this section, so okay, there he is. You're gonna duke him around the shelves. You're gonna try to walk. I say try because he's gonna catch up to you, so eventually you're gonna have to just hope that the liquor doesn't come after you. And then you're gonna go upstairs to the library. From what I've tested, this is the easier pathing because before I would try to go down like through the bathroom and there's like 2 liquors by the stairs, so this is easier to get the magnum to come through this way. Now there's a liquor still in this hallway, so you're gonna have to walk, but this seems to be the easier pathing than trying to go up the stairs and through the bathroom, because I felt that that made more sense, but with the 2 liquors at the stairs, it's just a bad time for everybody. So I'm about to pick the magnum up, and if you remember, I left a heal item in here as a just in case, so that it would be in here if I needed it, and I'd be able to keep it out of my inventory. And I have 2 open spots, so I need to... I'm going to empty that spot out. I'm going to go ahead and pick it up. I think I'm going to be okay for inventory space. I honestly am not sure, so I might need to drop something, but I'll go ahead and take it because I have other things that I can drop that aren't as good as a full heal. So you're going to want to wait and make sure the tyrant's gone, which you can normally hear him stomping around and then he goes through a door. Once he goes through the door, you're safe to come back through this hallway. And you're going to want to walk again, because there's a liquor in here somewhere. And then you're going to come through, and you're going to go right over, and you're going to use that lever. Now, sometimes the tyrant will be waiting for you in here. If you're lucky, he's not. If he is waiting for you, then you're probably screwed, honestly. It's really hard to get past this section if he's already in here waiting for you. you kind of just have to duke him and get him to go somewhere else so that you have time to move everything. But I've come through this section where he's already waiting for me down there, and every single zombie is triggered and ready to eat me, and it's just bad luck. There's 2 zombies on the other side of this pillar. Two shots to each will down them, but they're not permanent. One of them gets back up. And he's stomping around somewhere. I would advise making sure these zombies are actually downed so that they don't try and grab you when you come back through, because the tyrant's going to be coming after you. And then you're going to do this section, so you're going to get rid of that gear. You're not going to have that anymore. And this is where you pick up the other power part that you need for the parking garage area, which makes you progress to the sewers. And then that is up to where I have practiced so far. So I'm coming to a close on the section that I've done so far, and I usually get through this section about an hour and 10 minutes, which I'm on track for, and that's also a good time for getting through it. If you can get to the sewers in about... If you can get to the sewers in under an hour and 15 minutes,
I don't have to write a report
then
on this.
you can get through the rest of the game on time. I want to go back here. There's a door. And there's a large gunpowder over here that I want to pick up. And then I'll go pick up the other piece, the panel part, or whatever it's called. I always run into the walls in here because I can't see. Oh, he's stomping around. Oh, I didn't pick the other one up. That's not great. I'll have to stop at a box because I forgot to pick the other one up. Not the end of the world, but a little annoying. I forgot that I needed to get it out of my inventory. Okay, gunning it for this door over here. I will go past a box, so it's not a big deal that I forgot to get that out of my inventory. But normally I would have gotten it out earlier. When I stopped at the box, I ended up having to stop at the box 2 extra times because I forgot about that. He's always there when you come through the door. And I just forgot about it. Alright, so you're going downstairs. I sound unsure because I am. Oh yes, downstairs and then to the other end of the hallway, downstairs again, and then you're going to be right outside of the area that you entered. I can't think of what the room's called. This room that you came through. There's going to be a bunch of zombies in here that have come in through the windows, so be ready for that. There's not a whole lot that you can do about this unless you collect all of the boards and board all of those windows up when you come through the first time, which doesn't really seem worth it to get past those couple zombies, honestly. I need the other one, and I'm gonna clean up my inventory when I get to the sewers. So, going downstairs, I want... Oh. Once again, I forgot something. I want to take a grenade with me, and I'm going to show you why. Normally I'm better at remembering what I need, but since I'm talking... Crap. I don't have any heals, only... Oh, I do. Since I'm talking while I'm doing this, it's making it a little bit harder for me to remember. But honestly, it's a good test of my memory because I'm doing something that's distracting me. Okay, so when you go through this door, you have the dog, so you're going to want to gun it. Dodge and weave and run fast. I would have gotten past there. I got caught in the door. Alright. That's not too bad, though. It could have been worse. With the dogs, like I said, I just accept that I might get hit because it's easier than trying to fight them. You can try, but I don't know. It just feels like a waste of ammo, and then they just end up ganging up on you anyway. So it doesn't really help. You just kind of want to try and avoid them and have a heal item on you if you need it. That's not right. There we go. Now, this section that you're about to deal with. The first time I played through this, I thought it was really hard, but there's a very easy way to get through this, which I'm going to show you. And it's pretty similar to
What are they after?
every method I've ever seen anybody use. So, you're going to want to come to this switch and wait. You want the zombies to get as close to you as possible. Now, they can't grab you while you're in the animation of flipping the switch, so that one zombie can get right up on you and he can't do anything. Then you come to this corner and you wait for him, and you duke around it. You want to be careful that you don't get too close to the right though where the zombies are coming. And then this is why you want the grenade. And you run right through. Now he is back up, so I'm going to shoot him, because he will grab you consistently every single time if he's not downed. And then you're golden. We just have to deal with this BS of Ada walking as slow as humanly possible. To get through this faster, you need to just run ahead, and it makes her move faster. Otherwise, she literally saunters her way all the way to the gun shop. And there isn't any resources to pick up in this area, so there isn't any reason to meander. So, once we get through this little area, we're going to be at the sewers.
Ben didn't come through.
Well,
And then
what exactly are you looking for?
More info.
I will do some inventory management at the sewers, and that'll be it, because I haven't practiced anything beyond this point.
Going through that
So
gunshot
at
looks like the only way.
halfway point for here, because you can get through this. The way that I'm playing, I'll probably get through it in... It'll be pretty close. It'll probably be about 2 hours and 15 minutes, maybe.
Mess.
Like I said, a lot of what I do is based on the pacing that Markiplier had in his run-through. So that's the pacing that I'm basing my pacing off of. And he had very similar times, and he got through it in, I think, 2 hours and 10 minutes. So
Heard of the
if I
Umbrella
can
Corporation?
follow
They're a
his
pharmaceutical
pacing for the
company
second
secretly
half
making
as well,
bioweapons.
then
They
I
have a
know
virus.
that
It turns people into indestructible
I can also
monsters.
finish it in the same amount of
That
time.
explains the
So that's
horrible
kind of
things
what
I've
I'm
seen.
basing my numbers off of. In his playthrough, he got to this section, I think it was an hour and 15 minutes. Normally I get here in about an hour and 10 minutes. So
Based on what you've said, the sewer seems fitting.
I'm on track with that pacing, is what I'm
Gee,
trying to say.
thanks. Can't imagine a real scientist being down here.
There's only one thing to pick up in this area.
Come
And I'll
on.
show you where
Sewers
it
are run by the
is.
city. How could they have a facility
Also,
without the
you want to
authorities
run through
knowing?
here, because once again, she follows you. So she walks as fast as you walk.
Jesus!
Right here
That an
is going to
earthquake?
be your only resource in these tunnels, and it's right in front of the door that you need to go through, which is your triggers that, and then you go into your save area before entering the sewers. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm going to do some resource management, like I said, so I can see what I have of everything. Also, I'm going into the sewers, so I'm going to want to take my blue herb heals with me for poison. You do pick some up in the sewers, obviously, but I already have some, so I'm going to take them with me. Actually, yeah, okay. I'm going to add that to a full. And I just do this so I have a better idea of what's actually in here, because it's a lot to keep track of. So I just, if I take everything out all at once, then it's all together in the same area. So all of my heals will be together and I can see them. And then I've got some greens. And I still have a first aid spray, which is better than I normally am doing at this point. Normally at this point I've already used all my first aids, so that's good. I'm gonna go ahead. I haven't done the sewers yet, so I don't know what I need going into the sewers, because I haven't run through the section yet to know what the best stuff is to carry. But, oh, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna use this so I can get a bunch of shotgun ammo. And then I can get more handgun. I should have a bunch of handgun. I usually have stacks upon stacks of handgun ammo. And I usually always use the handgun, so I kind of usually prioritize having handgun ammo. I've got one gunpowder here that I can't do anything with. And then, yeah, so I'll put that extra stuff away, that away. Got all my heals here. And then I'm gonna keep, I'm thinking that grenades are gonna be good to have for the sewers because of the G-adults for when they grab you. I'm thinking that the grenades are good for that. I do have a knife that I might take a knife with me, but I don't know how helpful it's going to be. But so far, without having practiced the sewers yet, I'm thinking that grenades are going to be good for the sewers, shotgun's going to be good, and then you want to make sure that you have blue herb heals on you for poison. But other than that, I'm not sure. So I am at an hour and 6 minutes, which I think might actually be my best run so far for this area. I'm going to put it down here next to my other one. So this is my first time getting through to this section without dying, because the other time, this save here, I actually died and had to reload. So I'm curious. This is my first time running through beginning to end. I was at 107, so pretty similar pacing, despite the fact that I had to circle back to my boxes when I shouldn't have had to. So yeah, 106, 107 is my pacing so far for getting to the sewers, which is pretty good. And yeah, that's it for now. I need to practice the sewers. So, like I said, I've been practicing it in sections. So I do shorter sections, and it makes it easier to be able to learn it and remember it. So I initially started, I would practice from the beginning until the first boss fight, and then I practiced the boss on its own, and then I would practice the run through the parking garage, and then up until triggering the tyrant, and then I practiced everything after the tyrant to the sewers. So I kind of split it up into like 20-minute sections, and that's how I practiced each section. So I'll probably practice the sewers as a separate section, and then move on from there, because I have the beginning of it down now. I feel like I can pretty consistently get through that area that I just did without any issue. So yeah, don't really know how to end this, but that's all for now, I guess. Bye, guys.